We'll try to be out there as soon as
This
possible.
system
Okay.
is so rough.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna test. No, it automatically did it because I just put it in. My DNA was not in the evidence until just now. Because if you look up my name or my strain in our evidence, it was in 2 reports. One was the report of y'all's, and one was
Are
in
you
the report of mine,
1757?
which is 1757. It automatically updated my CID
What if
when I put that into
I have a
the-
hypothetical?
Okay.
What if my guy? What if his DNA was documented
Oh, I know
after
what it
the
is.
new
I think
system?
It's after the
But
new system.
Zakid's
correct.
original DNA was on
before.
was before.
Yes, so it probably was added
Maybe?
into our evidence lockers, the old evidence lockers before, which is why it is not automatically adding. So let's go to that report. Give me a second here. Let me cook real quick. What was the report that Zakid? Let's go to this. Hold on. Let me cook here. I think you're right. I think that has to be. That's the only variable. So it was this one. And the report would have been, his DNA would have been taken, it would have been this mass casualties, which is a report. So report 2395.
No, it would have to be incident 2444 because we would have done incident 24. Well, 2444 would be way before because that's incident 2444.
Yes. Okay.
And then report 2395
was after.
Would have been way after.
So incident, what was it again?
2444.
2444.
Yeah, but that was
girl, this
2 weeks ago.
Is empty. Okay, hold on. Let me look at it in here. Maybe it's something.
Well, but if it's in here, then it would have been after the system, right?
Correct. So let me see.
What the heck?
Maybe our incident lockers are not providing. Maybe it might be the incident locker versus a report locker of the DNA strain might be. Okay, so here's the sample right here from this locker. Okay, so now that means that is the. Okay, let's try this. This won't work. I need a new I need a new blood sample. Needs to be one that's not in the evidence.
I'm so dumb. You know what, girl? I just thought about something. Now that you done got hit, we'll just swap me for DNA.
No, that won't give us.
I know. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit.
Okay, we don't. There has to be a way to do this without hitting someone. Like we can't be hurting ourselves to fucking check.
Girl, I don't want a rhinoplasty.
Would it be illegal to go down to the hospital and collect samples off the ground? Sounds like it.
Well, we wouldn't know where to put it.
Can't tamper with. We won't know who they belong to or any. It has to be in order to do science. You have to have a controlled variable, right? The controlled variable is us knowing information. Let me see. Oh, girl.
Your knees are gonna be absolutely destroyed.
No, this is fine. This is fine.
No, Matt, stop.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Stop.
It's okay. Girl, what is wrong with you?
How about the staircase?
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, hold up. Pull your flashlight back out.
Okay, hold on. Stop. Before we do this, okay? Let me make sure that we need another DNA sample, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my thought process is originally, Matt, stop.
I'm okay.
The original thought process was that when Zakid's DNA was put into a locker, it would have been the old evidence lockers, not the current evidence lockers.
Uh-huh.
But now that report, which was the incident 2444, are we sure that let's double check the dates on these. Maybe it wasn't
Well,
that
it shows
one.
up at the bottom. That would be the most...
Is that the oldest one for sure?
I would assume so, because ours showed up at the top.
That makes sense. Okay, so they would be essentially like in an order. Okay. So now the reason we're testing this is we are testing whether or not it's the incident locker or the report locker. Because it could be just the incident locker does not. When the forensics
I need
lab
to
puts
send
the
Ken
DNA into
something.
an
Hold up.
incident locker, it does not grab the state ID automatically. So that's what would be our next test. And if that doesn't work, then I don't know what. And that's like something we're gonna have to. The forensics lab is not working properly. We would have to contact someone.
Yeah, that
in
is
the
very much so
forensics.
the TLDR.
Yes. Okay. So we do need another sample. Any of you have your own personal sample for anything?
Ah! Ow! It's gonna be okay. Okay, clock me. Clock me once.
Oh shit.
I deserve it.
Hold on. EMS from PD.
No, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. Do it.
Can I get 52s at MRPD, please? The northern door, please.
That's okay. Alice, I'm gonna be fine. No, not with that. Not with that. No. How about we do what we did at the beginning with you? You know, just a little clock.
Just a little like slap.
Yeah, just a little. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna be okay.
You know that game where people they slap each other and then the first one to like scream like loses?
Yeah. Ah! What the fuck?
I had to distract you. I had to distract you before I let it go.
All right. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Let me try again. Okay. Let me try again.
All right.
It's like my revenge. Oh.
Okay. All right. Oh! What the? Nothing.
Anything?
There's nothing.
One more.
Okay,
One
yeah,
more.
one more.
Yeah,
Oh, that was a good one.
Bleeders? Any
That was a good one.
Well,
All
let me
right,
let Heidi
take out
in,
the
okay? Let me
flashlight.
let Heidi in.
Oh no, not the flashlight.
I think it's gonna work.
Someone's about to be going to bed, taking a little nap.
What's the science for? What's this experiment?
It's
Figure it out.
complicated.
DNA
Heidi,
and,
back
yeah.
up, okay?
Long story
We don't
short,
want any
DNA and not
casualties.
getting tagged with a state ID.
Specifically.
I'm ready. Ah! I love the VoIP cutting out. Am I a bleeder? Oh, you picked something up. What was it? Oh, that hurt.
You're a bleeder. You're a bleeder.
Matt, why are you not looking after yourself?
I am. It's just, you hit me a couple times, you know? Oh my god, do I have 13 alpha?
I really want to take a selfie
If you
and
want to
send
be
it
a
to Dixie.
pick me,
So I don't know.
When am I gonna pick me?
Wait, you wanna take a photo of Matt being down and send it to Pixie?
Yeah, Dixie and Willie tried calling me, and then they called you, Rhodes. So I kind of want to
Oh.
take a selfie and say, "Oh, we're back here experimenting."
No, don't say that one.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey,
the
Heidi.
poor thing. Hello.
You know what
how
they
are you
say.
feeling?
Life hit you fast.
But Alice hit you faster.
Okay, well,
it's okay though.
open your
I'm
mouth. Have you lost your teeth?
I'm gonna pick up your glasses this time, Matt. You won't lose them like I did. Okay, I've got your sunglasses.
Okay, you haven't lost any teeth.
Oh my god. Whew.
Listen, that'd be fucked up. Holy shit.
If
Unless
Alice came from
really
my teeth,
need
we'd
to-
have problems.
No, I would never. I would never.
Unless if it's a wisdom tooth that you really need to get out, then I get it. I get it. That shit's painful.
Mm. How bad is it looking, Heidi?
Well, I'm concerned about your, just the side of your, like, the side of your rib, like, at least just the, left side area. It does need to be looked into. Are you okay with me taking it to Kate, or are you feeling comfortable just being helped up on your feet, or?
Yeah, I'll be okay at my feet. I can check it with Kate after the FTO session.
Okay. Well, don't strain yourself too much, okay? I'll just apply
Alright.
the bandages on here, but I do recommend getting a checkup
Alright,
later
I
down
will.
the
I
line,
will,
okay?
Heidi. I always follow the advice of medical professionals.
Well, I appreciate that, but let
All
me
this
help
for
you up
science,
here.
Heidi. Whew.
All
gonna be
this
worth
for
it.
science.
Oh yeah, it will. Alright.
You do the honors. So you.
No, you can do the honors.
There's that. Okay, hand it back then. I'll take it back. Thank you so much.
I don't want to
you so
change the methodology.
Nope. Okay, okay.
Alright, Heidi, I'll let you
You look
out.
great, Matt. You look great.
I'll let you out. Thank you.
Okay,
Here we
make sure you
go.
see it, Dr. Kate, okay?
I will. I will.
Take care.
Hi, Heidi.
Bye-bye.
Alice, that's a bit excessive, don't you think?
Sorry.
You got me fucked up.
I had to try.
Was you trying to make sure I needed to get a rhinoplasty?
I would never.
Girl, this sounds beautiful. Always has been, always
I
will
would
be.
I would never. What?
Alice.
Stop. I would never stop.
Okay.
Let me
Alright.
finish the testing, okay? The science experiment.
Let me get a good look here. Oh.
What?
Has
It's
the
not
bridge
that
of your
bad.
nose always been that big?
I don't know. You're giving me like long enough to cross, and if you cross me, you're gonna have problems, Larry. You're gonna have problems. Don't be giving me no as the bridge of your nose. That don't you dare, Larry.
Well, I don't know if that's just a bump from the flashlight. Glasses are sitting a little bit higher on your face, but
What about you, Sterling? You have anything to say?
You look good.
Oh, thank you. I'm married.
You look healthy.
Oh, thank you. I
didn't say you
appreciate
looked
it.
bad or
Still
anything.
married.
I'm just saying your nose might be a little swelled. Might be a little swollen.
It's definitely broken.
You think so?
Broken in my nose.
You think so?
I'm not
No,
a
it's
doctor. I
okay.
can't say if it's broken, but it definitely looks a little bruised and swollen. I think it'll be alright though.
But I could have
Yeah.
swore I seen an open hand slap right back at you. So that one looked a little like spiteful, somewhat in revenge.
Yeah.
I didn't want
Alice!
Just be careful
Yeah.
blowing your nose for a
Look at
couple
that. They're
days.
talking shit.
I would
They
never...
said it was a personal open hand slap.
No,
Sterling
no,
said it. Sterling.
no. Sterling did nothing but stir when my ass was on the way to the ambulance. He was trying to stir that you were doing it personally against me too. He's just stirring.
I'm
Hey, but Rhodes, you
Making some
know,
good
me
tea
and
over
you,
there, huh,
we've
Sterling?
got listen. Me and you, we've got history. Okay, ain't nobody coming in between us
Hmm.
that we don't know. We ain't gonna let nobody come in and start
Yeah,
stirring.
exactly.
On our
And you know what?
exactly
Even
I
if
was
we
trying to
did,
say. It looked
even
like
if
there may
we
have been some issue.
did have drama, guess what? Just like the Adele song, it'd be water under the bridge. We can get past things. That's the only bridge you
That's
should be
very
talking
true.
about, Larry. Not
Great
my
point, you know.
nose.
I'm just worried about the swelling. Heidi didn't give you any ice packs or anything.
That's okay. The only thing you can do is let it heal, right?
That is true.
So
Not
I
saying it
just
looks
want you to
broken or messed
know
up.
that have good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
Yes.
Okay, so the bad news is it's not the incident. The good news is that we needed your DNA to figure this out. Bad news is we don't have a solution yet, so we have to keep testing.
So
Okay.
there is no good news.
The good news is that your DNA helped us figure out that it has nothing to do between reports or incidents. It's something else that's causing Zakid's DNA to not appropriately tag his state ID. What that is, I don't know yet.
And I can't
So-
manually edit the evidence field?
No, let me call.
Wait, no, mine has. Wait, no, mine's flagged.
Yes, yours worked properly. Mine worked properly. Zakid's didn't for whatever reason, right? We don't know why.
Wait, one of them worked. What if we only put his? Will one work?
You want to try and do a full new report with just Zakid's and see?
Oh no, we'll just remove everything from the evidence locker. Only put Zakid's and see what happened.
Hold on, I test this beforehand. Hold on, I have a test that we can do.
Are you gonna put yours in mine?
I'm gonna put yours in mine. Yes.
Then put yours in mine.
I already took yours out of mine. Yours have been in mine. Okay, I'll put them both in yours.
No, you can put them in yours. It's fine.
Okay. What's my report's 27? What's my report?
2674.
2674. But the only problem is that yours already has the appropriate IDs. Wait, 2674 is not correct. What is it again?
No, it's report 2674. It's correct.
Oh, I had taken my DNA out. That's why I got confused. Okay.
Mine's already there.
Yes, because I put it in.
Yeah, it shows with my state ID, but not the key.
Okay. Now here's the problem. We're gonna have Silver. I don't even know. Other cadet. I forget your name.
Sterling and Larry.
Sterling. That's one of you have to take one for the team.
Wait, why?
Oh no.
I feel like I'm kind of
Hey,
deserving of the next one.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, right?
Okay.
So you think that now only one sample will take, right? Well, actually, we're gonna need both of them.
Oh no.
Both of them. Because
No. The issue is Zakid's thing won't let us save his state ID to it. Ours has our state ID.
Correct. And you think that the reason? Oh, you know what? Zakid's would have been from that original report. Was it alone? Let me
I don't
look at
know.
something. Let's look at something because
I feel like if we get this figured out, though, this might be a
Mhm.
huge thing.
And if our blood samples aren't on the report, it's like having your name on the plaque, but for the blood god.
So, can you look up for DNA 1080? This is their state ID. 1080 and 1012.
You want the DNA string?
Oh, you know what it is, Rhodes?
What?
Okay, here's what it is probably. The Keeds DNA was put into our evidence system before it had a state ID correlated to it. So when it got put in with no state ID because the DNA was never taken on someone's profile. So as soon as we put it on their DNA on their profile, the evidence is not updating with their state ID correlated to that DNA. That's what the problem is.
Okay, hear me out.
Because both of our samples were taken before we got put into the evidence locker, right? Which is why then it correlated to a state ID. Whereas the key didn't have his DNA taken until 2 days ago, and his DNA was put into the evidence locker 2 weeks ago. And it's just not updating. And then we cannot manually update to add the state ID.
What if we get a captain to see what if this is just a permissions thing as to us not being able to edit the thing? Maybe after a certain amount of time.
Possibly. It could be, and we need the permissions to manually edit the evidence tab. However, I feel like it is intended to do it on its own, and it's not doing it for people who have their evidence.
Ruth Turner? Hello? Are you down there?
Above us? Or are they below us?
I don't know. Probably.
I think that they're watching us from somewhere.
I don't know. We have to check if it's a permissions thing.
You think this? Yes, we check if it's a permissions thing. That still doesn't fix the ever-longing problem.
It does, because if we can add the state ID to that piece of evidence, we're good.
Sure, but that means that every time.
Every prior one, yeah, but if we can resolve it once, we're good.
No. Every time we get a full strain of DNA, we're going to have to look up in profiles every time, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but slowly fix itself over time then.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, because we're going to get people's DNA before we actually know who the DNA sample is correlated to. I think the system is meant to be automatic.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's meant to be.
Oh, hold on. And so what you're saying is,
it's not updating. Okay. The forensics lab is not updating the old evidence appropriately to match where they have when we get their DNA on file.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And I think it's meant to be automatic, and it's not. Yes, the fix of being able for us to enter it in, but is that considered evidence tampering when we start editing information on an evidence piece?
But this plays into my theory of the evidence stuff is being locked out after a certain amount of time. But I feel like a captain and their permission should be able to override that, right?
Correct.
So we would be able to find out. And then if there is that, you know, a timer-based thing, it either needs to be excluded for, you know, the people who work back there running this shit, or I don't know.
I don't think it has anything to do with time. I think that it has to do, well, it does have to do with time, but it's actually more.
The first instance was the 8th of this month. This existed after that, didn't it?
Correct. Okay, listen, this is what I'm trying to say. If Zakid's blood or anybody's blood got put in as evidence any point, and the next day their DNA was taken and put on file, that DNA that got taken the day before does not get updated to that they are the same. That is what the problem is. It could be minutes, it could be hours, it doesn't matter. It's not properly updating in our system is what is happening.
Counterpoint. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Regardless of that, we should be able to edit the state ID field.
Probably. I think
the fact that you can't, the fact that I can't, tells me it's a permissions thing.
Yes, and they might not be able to either, and it might be because we're not supposed to, and it should be working. The forensics people should be working correctly and updating it for us, and they're not. So we do need to find out about the permissions thing. I agree.
You bitches got me fucked up! I've been here for the past hour and a half!
Tell them to do their damn... We gotta go...
Do your damn job!
Do you think worst come to worst, say it was like the permissions thing like you said, and a senior officer was able to adjust it, that the evidence people could override it in case if they do get their shit in order, you know?
I would assume so.
So, like, say you were to change the keys, and then all of a sudden tomorrow the evidence people get their shit together and they found a discrepancy, they would be able to change it?
Yeah, probably. I don't think that would be much of an issue.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Do you have Ruth's phone number?
Yep.
Ruth's number? Can you give it to me, please?
Ruth is 420 190 1928. That's 420 190 1928. Does that give you infomercial flashbacks?
When you said 1928, gave me the like, oh my god, that was a good year PTSD. Like, you know how when people say that, like about.
Huh? What?
Like, oh, that was a good year.
What was a good year?
It's a meme. Like every time, like it's a year, somebody's like, "Oh, that was a good year." Oh, that was. It's like a meme. Every year, somebody can say that was a good year. It's a meme. Like because every.
Now
year...
that a lie. Ain't nobody saying that about 2020 and above.
I feel like 2020 had something. There's probably something.
What?
Like. I don't know. Why are you pressing me? I'm not the one that says that's a good year. I think that's cringe. That's
you know what? You kind of right, because Adele's album came out in 2021. That was a good year.
Cringe. Sorry. My bad.
Ew.
I'm sorry. I'm saying you can say that about every year. That's why it's like
Alice, you're giving Rhino right now. Sorry.
Why is that so funny?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm
Anyways.
done.
I missed
I
a good
texted
joke.
them.
It's
The
just a
thing
little
is,
one.
There
Yeah,
was
just
no
a-
joke. We were just laughing because it was dumb. It's,
Intentions are the best.
That's why we're laughing.
Stop! You're making me laugh. Stop it.
Hey, sorry.
It's just all the blood
I'm
force trauma.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Whew, okay. All right.
I texted Turner and Ruth. I'm waiting for them to respond. They're probably having. There's like a bajillion and one things for them to talk about. And I will find out from them. Fuck. Okay, let's just go. Let's waddle. Maybe they are
Let-
taking their phone.
Yeah, let's waddle.
Let's waddle up there real quick.
You think
Hopefully
they're
we
up
don't get yelled
there?
at. You think they're up or down?
I-
I think they're in Turner's office, right?
Oh, maybe.
Oh god.
You know what? Y'all two should stay in the stairwell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hang out here.
We'll be the shield.
Maybe we'll get some chips.
Yep, me too.
What
Are you mocking?
else? We're fucked up. We can't go in. We can't go in there. We can't.
On the door with me.
Hello.
Hi. I'm not sure if you guys had grabbed my text. Are you guys available for like 2 minutes by chance?
Yeah.
We need
Yep.
to see if there's an MDT permissions issue.
Can you guys?
Sorry, Turner.
Oh, it's
that's right.
okay.
I'm so happy to see you.
Was
I
there,
just
was
got
there blood
excited.
there?
It's you two there.
We might need this
Are you
for
really
our
excited
project.
about
We
that?
still
No,
need
I'm
it.
not
Oh, we need
bleeding.
our
I'm
project.
alright.
We need it. Oh,
Okay, never mind.
shit. Okay.
I'm all right.
Can you check for report? And it is going to be report number 2669. Once you're in report 2669, the blood sample that ends in 4771, copy that blood sample, go into evidence, search up the blood sample in evidence. It should come back to ID 5845. Once you open that up, are you guys able to add a CID to it and save it?
Yes.
3708. We thought we could. It shows we can, but when we save, nothing happens.
So it's 3708.
3708, correct.
Okay, I added that and
We don't
Got
get
no
a save
confirmation
prompt.
that's saved.
Exactly.
Correct. We didn't either.
So the issue we're running into is that we grabbed a bunch of DNA samples after a bunch of people were injured. So we have DNA from victims. We have DNA from other individuals who may have been injured. One of the victims was Zakid Skangerton, right? His DNA, despite being on file, did not automatically flag, but one of the other victims did. The issue that
had
we're
a CID on it.
correct on the evidence field, but we
What-
can't edit that state ID, and I don't know if it's a time-based thing. Genuinely, I have no idea.
I know there was an issue with the CID saving, and like CID was messing up some evidence, so I think that might be worked on. I'm gonna communicate
Okay.
that.
Here's my thought process on it. The original time that evidence was put into our system in the evidence,
45 months. Anti thinks of 46.
we did not have a matching correlated person whose DNA was taken and on file. And then the DNA for that person was taken 2 days ago. But what's happening is the forensics lab is not updating that original evidence that DNA was found to correlate with the matching person whose DNA that is.
Do y'all have the
I
ability to
believe-
delete evidence? I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're okay.
Oh, you can? Wait, Alice, we can test this.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
What do you mean by delete evidence? You delete it by removing it from the report it originally was
No,
on.
delete
Right,
it. You cannot delete it out of the evidence
Okay.
section. No.
All right. Never mind
Oh,
that.
but it stays in there no matter what, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't delete it. So, my conclusion, I think that this process, the adding of the state ID is supposed to be automatic. The forensics lab individuals are supposed to automatically find out if that piece of evidence is correlated to a state ID.
So
They're
you're
just not
saying the moment that it's entered, if they have that DNA added to their profile, it should add their state ID.
yes, and
Correct.
it does do that. It does
It does do
automatically
that.
do that. Yes. However, if they do not have their information
have
in
a
our
match.
system, it will not automatically add the state ID. And when it does not automatically add the state ID, if you get their DNA in our system later, it does not update that state ID.
I see. So it's the order. So if I were to put the
Correct.
evidence first in and then take their DNA,
It would not
then it
do
wouldn't
it.
work. Okay.
Correct. But if you have their DNA on file first and then put it in, it does work. And I'm assuming that's just as simple. The forensics lab needs to look into backlogging when evidence is originally put in, and then updating appropriately. And that's something somebody
Looks
needs
like
to fix.
Ruth here has already communicated that. So
Okay,
we get
perfect.
looked at.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you
All right,
guys'
let's-
work.
That's
looking
it.
into that.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you. And
waddle
then
away, Alice.
the ability to edit that CID on evidence, if that's something they do want, or if they don't.
I'm thinking so.
Yes.
The
If
way you
it's
said it for blood,
automated.
it might be automated, which is why it doesn't work.
Correct.
If it's
I think-
automated, we shouldn't be able to
I think,
edit it.
yeah,
then.
I think that we're not
Right.
supposed to. I think that because in my opinion, that's kind of like a little bit of maybe evidence tampering. I'm not too sure, but we're kind of messing with what the forensics lab is doing, and they don't want us to do that. And if that's the case, then yeah, then this is just something that. In the meantime, I guess we just tell everyone they need to, until it is fixed. If you get a full DNA sample, you need to run it through the system manually. If it does not automatically come back with someone,
Yep.
does not mean that it's not in the system. So maybe we make an announcement for that.
Well, no, it's going to get
I'm so
sorted
sorry.
out
That
first,
was
so.
me. I'm so sorry. That was me that had sent you that text. I'm so sorry.
Why are you not on my phone?
I didn't have your number either. I had to get it from Rhodes. I just think that we've never probably talked on the phone. I think every time
We
met,
always
it's in person. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you so
We're gonna
much,
waddle
Tucker.
away. Just a heads up, we did beat each other up, but it was necessary for the discovery of this.
Appreciate your guys' work. I just
Uh,
hope you didn't.
Th-
Hurt each other.
Fine.
We
We're fine.
You
this
didn't
was
blow her back out again, did you?
No, and he didn't break my rhino either. We're good.
Good.
I just had a little bit of a
Did you get
bloody
healed
nose
up?
for a little bit.
Alice, you
Yeah.
sure? You're looking like you.
Stop! It looks fine.
Okay.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you guys.
Bye, Caps.
Bye.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want another rhino?
Rhodes.
What?
That's messed up. It looks fine. My nose looks fine.
You're right. It does. It does.
Thank you. Okay. The solution, boys, that came to it is that it is being looked into. They have contacted someone to get it. So sorry, I must say. To get it fixed.
Oh.
That's good.
All right.
Oh, I should have asked if they wanted me. Actually, I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. You guys are good. Anyways, so every person's DNA that you put in that has a full strain, you have to look up for until it is fixed. There will be an announcement about it soon. TM.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's not too
Bye.
hard. At least we
Okay.
can copy them.
Dixie contacted me 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, we went to the lobby and got snacks, and they were gone.
Okay. If that's the case, we're not going out. I'm quizzing y'all on SOP related stuff, primarily because both of y'all can utilize or be tested on that. Because a lot of the feedback you had previously received was SOP related. And so if we can bang some of those things out, I mean, I'm gonna be real. I think the both of you are fairly close to, in my opinion, based upon what I've seen. I think both of y'all are fairly close to PPO. But in saying that, we do need to make sure we, have a full understanding of our SOPs, case law, Listen, I ain't gonna sit there and judge y'all on traffic stops. Your traffic stops were great. Radio comms overall have been solid. Larry, I know like you ran into the abandoned vehicle situation.
Yep.
I'm gonna be real. Although there's 10 codes for a lot of things, if you need a plain speak something, if it's plain speak or nothing, plain speak. It is what it is, right?
Okay.
Like, yes, there's a 38, but sometimes people call out dispatch 130, traffic southbound Popular Street, crime van occupied twice. Is it the worst thing in the world? No. Everyone understands exactly what you're saying. In fact, it's probably quicker to say dispatch 130, traffic southbound versus dispatch 130, 1038. What comes out faster, 1038 or traffic? Everyone knows what traffic means.
Yep.
Same thing
So
when
I know
you're
some
ending.
plain speak is interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty much. Just I think we had this conversation during Academy. You're not gonna hear somebody ask for 1052s. Nobody's gonna say 1078. You're gonna hear 78s. Need 52s.
Shots fired was a big one too.
Exactly. No, 1071. No, the moment you say 1071, suddenly it no longer registers in my mind. Okay, it's like that. Same thing for 77s. Like, people just don't do it. Yes, technically you probably should, but in reality, if you're in a 78 situation, you ain't got time to say 10 before it. It's 78s. So I'm actually opposed to any call signs that have 78 in it. I think
that would be
I think call signs should be 877, 878, 178. I think all of those should be barred from use, just on the basis of confusion on radio.
With that number, is there?
I'm not actually sure, but the way for me, it's like, I think I also said this during Academy. It's like when you say the word walk to a dog, right? Their ears perk up. It doesn't matter where in the sentence you said it, yeah, I'm going to go for a walk later. Their ears perk up and they're ready to go, right?
Yep.
Same thing the moment somebody says 78s for me. It doesn't matter if 878 is your call sign. You said 78 immediately, just like ears perk up. I'm listening to every bit of information. And so that needs to not be, in my opinion, that needs to not be a thing.
That's completely understandable. I don't believe there's a 78 that I've seen.
Come this way. We'll go over here.
Cornwood just told me they put new soundproofing in this room.
Oh, did they? All right. Well, okay, that door's open.
Lighting, the sun, the shades. Very atmospheric.
All right, I'm gonna take a seat here. I want. Actually, this might be a little more difficult than anticipated. Just a moment. Why is that not working? All right. I want y'all to try your best to take a seat.
Oh.
Are you good?
I couldn't breathe.
Oh, it's okay. Y'all are gonna be okay. Oh.
Larry, help.
What's going on, bud? Here, let me.
I'm just thinking about sitting down really hard here. There we go.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Thank you.
All right. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Let me. Are you good, Sterling?
Think about the old emergency contact, the old EC.
I believe in you, Sterling. I believe.
Ah! Ooh.
Okay, now you probably don't want to be this close to the chair.
Yeah, I went into the nether realm. It's like a damn being in a vacuum. It's hard to breathe. Right.
Can't use my quick thing. You know, and then when you get close, if you feel like you're running into the chair, I'm gonna just go ahead and EC again. You know. Oh,
There you
perfect.
go.
There we are.
I know how to
All
sit
right.
down.
Yeah, same. Fuck the dash cams and the security cameras. So, how do y'all feel y'all have done today?
But it was a great day.
I feel like other than my one situation, I feel like overall I did pretty good.
I agree, and I think the stuff that occurred while major, in terms of safety, are like very easily correctable things that, you know, based on how you had already corrected yourself, aren't going to happen in the future. So
Nope, that was I understood almost immediately like what I did wrong, and I was like, wait a minute. I hadn't searched him beforehand, so but it just kind of slipped my mind because he was, you know, cooperating with us so good and everything and didn't have any issues, but I understood immediately.
all right, give me a second here. How long do y'all have before you need to go off duty?
Infinite amount of time.
Okay.
That's a good answer. Infinitely infinite.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, I told Slacks and Turner, you know, when I originally applied for the PD that I have open schedule. And it's still
That's
that way.
good. That is good. All right. So who wants to go first with case law?
I guess I could.
Sure.
You know, when people say sure to me, it's always
I'm on top.
well, Larry answered first, but sure for me is very much so, I guess, versus yeah, I'll do it. You know,
I've been a little nervous with case law. That's why I say that as a nervousness.
what part of case law are you nervous about?
I think the only thing I'm nervous about is there's one that's not in there that Barrick told me
Which
about. but
one?
I did write it down on my cheat sheet. Maryland versus Wilson.
What?
Maryland versus Wilson?
And it ain't on here?
It is not in our SOPs.
What?
I think for me, last time I learned, I believe it was the Wyoming versus the Houghton, and there was a lot of emphasis on like the process of elimination last time that I was chatting with Miss Alice about it, and it was like starting from the process, you know, of elimination of okay, if the driver doesn't have it, then the passenger, and then you know the glove box, and then maybe anything that may be in the vehicle.
Are you talking about? Apologies, I only caught the ending portion. You're referring to something that you're specifically looking for that could be elsewhere in the vehicle, somewhere specifically that fits?
Yeah, last time
Okay.
like I struggled with the Wyoming versus Houghton, and just making sure for me that's my that was the biggest one that I learned, you know, needed to improve on. But from what I
Okay.
understood, it was like a process of eliminations when it comes to having like probable cause to search the passenger's belonging. And Alice hit in on like following the, you know, the process of okay, well, if you know you responded to a shots fired, and or let's say like I think the there was a example with stolen property. It was like okay, well, and for me it was just a little confusing on like following that process of like initially of going through of like you know starting with the passenger, and then for me what I learned was once when you've kind of like hit that step within whatever process, let's say just because you can you shouldn't, that's the takeaway. You know, if you've discovered it on the passenger, then you no longer need to search the vehicle or the glove box or anything like that. And I think initially when I was questioned, I said that I would still search the vehicle.
I wouldn't
Got
see
it.
why not.
That's kind of like
Unless it
what
was
I was
one
initially
very
thinking,
So-
but
specific
it's
item
like
you're looking
the
for.
process. Like if you no longer have a reason to search the vehicle because you've whatever you were initially investigating, you've located on the person, you should no longer like.
Okay, that's understandable.
That's the
That's a
takeaway that
very
I got
specific
from
item.
that, and I guess that's what I was trying to say. It was just a little confusing for me. That's why I have a little bit of trouble wording it. But that was the one that I struggled with previously when questioned. But I think I got the gist of it. But
That's
still
good.
a little confusing, to be honest.
So it ultimately comes down to, for me, I like to use sort of exaggerated examples on the basis that it lets you see sort of like foundation level stuff. So for example, let's say, let's say we're looking for a body. Yeah, we'll say a body, right? We're looking for a body. And we suspect that the body were put in the trunk of a vehicle. Hypothetical here. Let's say we saw somebody. Actually, I want to give you more context here. We're up in Polito. You know the motel across from the chicken factory?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We see a trail of blood following an individual dragging a large suitcase that seems very heavy when they attempt to lift it into the back of the car. Okay? Very heavy. We see that person then get into the passenger seat of the vehicle, and then somebody else comes out in a rush and jumps into the driver's seat of the vehicle, and they take off. You pull the vehicle over. At this point, you have officers, go to the original scene where that trail of blood is, get DNA, and then quickly, run it and realize, oh shit, this belongs to Zakid Skengerton. All right? What do you do at that point?
You're saying the trail of blood that was out of the suitcases belonging to
That
Zakid?
went from the apartment they came out of, dragged down the stairs in the exact order in which that suitcase, came down. And then there's even a small pool of blood at where they had originally rested the suitcase before lifting it into the trunk.
I guess I would probably issue a bolo for the vehicle. Or inform officers.
Well, at
of the
this point,
vehicle and the
you've
direction they're
stayed
heading.
with the vehicle, but you directed another officer to go and deal with the blood trail on the basis that, you wanted to verify. But these people are like, oh, yeah, no, you can check out, you can look in the trunk. They pop the trunk and you see a suitcase. Now, given everything you have, human DNA coming back to somebody, obviously you saw them struggling to lift that suitcase. Are you just going to throw your hands in the air and be like, oh, it's in something, it's concealed, I can't see it?
No.
Exactly.
There's a case off there. You can search a vehicle and any belongings in the vehicle, correct?
Carol, I believe.
Is that
Well,
Carol?
remember, we are, in this case, specifically utilizing sort of like a container within the vehicle. I mean, you can drop this down to something as low as a senior buns box, right?
Right.
Like, if you're looking for a gun, okay, we can change this up completely. Somebody shoots somebody, okay? They shoot somebody, they jump into the passenger seat of a car, that vehicle flees. Now, throughout the pursuit, you've seen them throw stuff out of the vehicle, but eventually, for whatever reason, they surrender. They stop the vehicle. There's a senior buns box in the glove box, right? They
Yep.
try claiming, self-defense, whatever, but they originally fled, and then they threw multiple things out of the vehicle. At this point, they're going to be under arrest, regardless of circumstance.
Yep.
You open up the glove box and you see the senior buns container. Are you going to search it?
Yes.
And why is that?
Probable cause that they could have been trying to hide a weapon.
Exactly. So, oh, jeez. The application of it can apply to so many different things, but at the same time, right, hypothetical here, let's go back to the body situation in the luggage, right? If you're looking solely for a body, are you looking in the glove box?
No.
No, but you
Exactly.
could be looking for like the weapon.
Exactly.
used.
That was going to be the
Yep.
follow-up, right? So as long as you understand the foundation level stuff, right? If you can get those building blocks to justify and allow you to articulate whatever it is you need to, you can make things progress in a way in which you need to complete your job. So another example, unrelated to necessarily, well, I mean, related to case law to some degree. Let's say somebody was leaving the scene of shots fired call, and the vehicle description was a blue Blista heading southbound Sonora Freeway, and as you're heading northbound on Sonora, you see a blue Blista heading southbound, and maybe there's even a partial plate, doesn't really matter. But at that point, you pull them over, they're detained, and under what case law can you order somebody out of a vehicle?
The Pennsylvania versus MIMS.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, specifically under Pennsylvania v. MIMS, what is... elaborate on what you can do.
You can order them out of the vehicle if the mere convenience doesn't outweigh their... if it doesn't outweigh... The mere convenience for officer safety doesn't outweigh their liberty, then you can have them step out, conduct a frisk for any associated crime that you may be investigating.
And at this point, the person is now out of the vehicle, right? You suspect, right? You don't have probable cause or anything of the sort, but you suspect this individual may have, this may be the same vehicle that just got reported 30 seconds ago heading southbound on the freeway. You were heading north, you made a U-turn, saw him, you pull him over. Doesn't even, I mean, truthfully, it doesn't really matter if they're even speeding at that point. You pull him over, then what? What are you going to ask him to do?
They're fleeing from a shots fired call?
Yep. Well, okay, to be fair, I shouldn't say they're fleeing from a shots fired call, but you get a dispatch call indicating a blue Blista was southbound, and you were in close proximity to this. You didn't hear the shots fired or anything because you were heading north on the freeway, but the last call out from dispatch through a cat alert was they were southbound on the freeway.
At this point, you've ordered them out. And just because, like, it's not reasonable articulable suspicion, but I would do a GSR test to build that. And if they were positive, I would put them in cuffs from that point.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you not frisk the individual?
I would frisk them after the GSR, just from like my mindset right now, because like following the train of thought, like if they're negative for the GSR, I mean, technically I could frisk them for my safety, but if I'm investigating somebody shooting a gun and I can rule out that they didn't shoot, then for me, I think like my golden ticket would be a GSR test. But I think afterwards I would still frisk them just for officer safety, but I would rule out that obviously they weren't the person that was involved. So like my train of thought for investigating that shooting would, unless there was like some extended circumstances, I would assume that they weren't there.
In most cases, you are likely to frisk first. Reason being, if they do have a weapon, obviously that's of importance, right? But in addition, let's say, like right now, not many people, if any, have weapons licenses, right? Which means that if we see a civilian out there on the streets with a firearm, the likelihood that that's a legal firearm is slim to none. If we frisk somebody and we feel something on their person, a weapon, and we go and grab that weapon and realize, oh shit, this is a firearm. You then look at it and realize, oh shit, this doesn't have a serial. What have we now done?
Got probable cause for an arrest, and you can search them.
Exactly. So you've now gone from having no legal reason to search the person to detaining them as part of the traffic stop. If they were speeding, sure, whatever. But like ultimately, you would still have a reason to detain on the basis that vehicle description, proximity to the scene, the timing all works out. You pull them over, ask them to step out for reasons of officer safety. You frisk them now on the basis, because again, one moment. What up?
Hey, are you guys busy?
Yeah, we're going through SOPs right now.
Hey, there's a laundromat. If you guys want to come, you guys
Girl,
can
we don't
take
care about
primary-
quarters.
You can, yeah, but you guys can take comms.
Oh, you know what?
Get in the car, Frost. I gotta hang up. I gotta go.
Okay. All right, follow up. Y'all want to go to this laundromat and deal with the pursuit and comms?
It sounds like they're already leaving.
Oh.
Not attached to it?
Are they leaving already? Oh, they got a lot of units, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
You know what? It's gonna be okay. We continue with this. Let's progress with this. That way, there's only like a few bits and pieces y'all are gonna have to do in another shift.
They have 4 units and 2 of them are doubled up.
Yeah, no biggie. So where'd I leave off? Where'd I leave off?
Cause after
Oh yeah. So now, well, actually, you know what? I have a question for y'all because this is of like very much important.
All right.
It's regarding case law. Terry v. Ohio. What are the requirements to Terry frisk somebody?
You have to have a reasonable suspicion that someone is committing, or will commit a felony.
Mm-hmm. And so,
Or just a crime, actually, not a felony.
correct, just a crime. And so, in the hypothetical that I've given y'all with this blue ballista, again, close proximity to the call, you pull it over, you ask them to step out for, again, reasons of officer safety. You now frisk the individual. You feel something. It is now, it's a gun, no serial number. There's been the application of multiple case law on this one situation, right? But again, this went from originally not really having much of a reason to pull them over outside of, again, proximity to the original scene, the vehicle description, applying case law to ask them to step out, applying case law to frisk them. And even though we originally started with RS, it's now progressed from RS to PC on the basis that an illegal firearm was found on their person. They can now be placed under arrest for criminal possession of a firearm class 1. And you can now search the entirety of their person, all based on what was originally a vehicle description, the direction of travel, and that was it. That make sense?
Yes. So I guess I have one question
Sterling?
about the one that Barrick stated to me was the Maryland versus Wilson. So he said
Okay.
that's basically Tennessee versus Mims, but for the passenger.
I get it. Okay, good. Just making sure.
So I guess since it's not in the SOPs, is it? I'm kind of confused because it doesn't make sense that you'd be able to like get the.
I'm
get the
going to be
passenger
real
car
with
for the same
you.
reasons.
There's a lot of things that aren't explicitly written, but it
Okay.
is just like very much so. I don't know if I should necessarily call it common law,
Yep.
but like, a Brady violation, for example. There's no case law technically, right? But at the end of the day, we're not going to withhold evidence that would, show that somebody is okay, I shouldn't say innocent of a crime, but if we have video footage of somebody at Mission Row and a witness, an alibi stating they were at Mission Row putting in their application at the same time somebody was murdered, we shouldn't not provide that to their defense. Because morally and ethically, we should, and not just be like, oh, well, there's no case law. So again, I don't know if that would technically fall under common law. I don't know how that stuff works. I don't know what common law technically even qualifies. But the application of it should ideally be fine. I don't think anybody with half a brain would sit there and be like, oh, technically... It's like, okay, well, if you want to go down that route, then you're not getting any evidence, right? Like, two could play that. No, don't actually do that, to be clear.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right, but like, if they want to play those games, they're shooting themselves in the foot with the 5 or 6 case laws that we do have. Because trust me, I am I am malicious compliance Matt, okay? And I'll make sure they understand it is not worth their time.
So
But that's
you'll go
just
to a
me.
petty war with them.
Oh,
this was-
exactly.
This was